right, we are here in the now, and we're streaming. Fun. Probably gonna be a shorter stream today because I may or may not be food poisoned, which is really fun. Yeah, we have a new microphone. I may be over compressing the shit out of it because I want to be able to like have it be a good distance away from me instead of, you know, me being speaking right into it. It's kind of bulky and I don't want it to take up space. So it might not be like a noticeable improvement versus I don't know. I think it's an improvement in that you hear less in my room for sure. But yeah, definitely less in my room because the previous microphone was omnidirectional, so it was picking up all the reflections from 360 degrees. But hey, what's up, Van Dweller? Welcome. But what's cool about this is it sounds really good with my tabla. So I'm reintroducing the tabla. It's gonna be kind of a pain to set up, but I don't know, we can do a little intermission shindigs with the by using the playing the tabla in the background. Though again, it is a pain to set up, and if I'm using the same microphone for this as also with the tabla, there's movement and whatnot going back and forth. But yeah, I could play jaw harp. Which, like, I don't know, it sounds way better than before. I don't have to like disable and enable a bunch of noise gates and stuff like that because the previous microphone sucked. So yeah, neat. Anyways, for the time being, I'm gonna work on this little microtonal song I started on the last stream. Please let me know if, I don't know, if there's issues, if you hear me like clicking, or I don't know, if it sounds like shit at some point. I don't know, no idea. I totally forgot what this sounded like. I don't like that this starts immediately with the bells. Can we just like do that? Yeah. It sounds not what I remember at all. Yeah, I don't like this intro. Oh, no desktop audio. Oh, that was a very easy fix. Thank you. Change where not you yeah, this guy, you should just start already there. This section here, let's do this to the drums. let's try copying this baseline over. Hello, cheeky blushy. Been watching you from the shadows for a while. It's kind of ominous, a little frightening, but I will take it as a compliment. And then I don't know about that a little bit there. Okay, yeah, and then that switch up is terrible. Though the idea in the new drop is alright. I really like this bit here. And then we can probably cut that. And then like maybe just like cut that. Really like this guy. Like this section is kind of is actually kind of compelling. Previous section is just like a little bit too weird, I think, now that I'm coming back to it. I don't know. Oh, I remember how I made those sounds. Do I need to, can I just, yeah, let's make a new thing over here. Copy this, let's put you over here. Let's, hey, thank you. Who just followed? Gavin the Maker. Thank you. Appreciate it. Need to get the Twitch viewership up, for sure. And the audio quality is higher on Twitch, so ain't that something? Maybe we something like this. Kind of like that. Get rid of. No. Just want it to fade in like that, and then let's get the little dispersion spectral thing. Right, it's kind of cute. Maybe that's cool. It's not. Let's just shove little fills with these squid sounds at the end of every phrase, and like maybe it'll work out and I can just like make it something else. out, hear me out. Offbeat chords. You just slap offbeat chords on it and then it's gonna sound good. It never fails for me. So what do we do there? We can just, we'll just take these notes and then probably copy that guy over. Maybe that guy. Just like whatever the melody's doing, loosely basically just make a chord out of it. It's probably gonna be good. Then we can do that again over here. I don't really know what it's gonna sound like, but yeah, kind of compelling. No clicks. Howdy, JW and Young Boy Wiki. Welcome, welcome. I do not know about this bit here. What do we got here? You're completely silent? Oh. And then, am I not controlling the right thing? I was not controlling the right thing. What do we want to do? Increase. Hey, what's up, Cam? The song is titled something something Christmas. The Christmas is in the title because fuck it, we're it's the season. We're feeling jolly. Uh, good news, Cam. I got fancy microphone now, so we can bring the tabla back. We're gonna have tabla streams again. Except I don't have space to put the tabla on my desk, because I have a synth now, and the synth is taking up all the space on the desk. So it is what it is, but I'll be able to play it on the ground. So I'm gonna do that in a little bit. Whoa. I don't know what to do with this song. I mean, it's jolly, it's Christmassy, it's Ain't that. Ooh. Banger alert? Hold on. What if we say fuck all the Christmas vibes and we just got like go heavy with like the random cutting and glitching of just like this sound in particular. And then we go like 16th note and then flat line. You're a music maker as well. Golly gee. I sure hope you'd be. It's the best thing you can do. Darker on your laptop speakers. Thank you for the feedback, because that is necessary. I changed the EQ slightly. I was boosting the shit out of the highs on my previous setup. I don't even show you what I'm doing. We got how do we do this? Filters. We got noise suppression. 3-band EQ. This one's not doing shit. I'm boosting the highs still by 5 dB. I'm compressing the shit out of it, and then I'm compressing the shit out of it again and boosting the gain by like 40 dB, which is ridiculous. Something cool about this microphone is with the USB, it is 32-bit float, so it can't clip. I'm just never gonna clip on accident, so that's huge. When I remember I had huge clipping problems whenever I would try to record me playing with my tonback, because the tonback would the bass, it just has like a crazy amount of bass that would shit on my microphone unpredictably. And then I'm using Serum Effects, which Serum Effects is great because you can just use it as like an all-in-one plugin. You can put whatever the fuck you want in there. Oh, I have wider on right now. I didn't know. Well, I have wider also, and I could play with wider on my voice. So ain't that cool? I'm so wide now on both ends probably. I can't actually hear my own voice right now, but I'm assuming I'm wide as shit, and it's probably not great. So I'm gonna keep it pretty small, maybe off. Who knows? But I did boost the bass because I don't know. I feel like everyone does it. Fuck it. And then is this still set up? I can show. We got the tabla cam. Am I still being recorded? Am I still being recorded? Well, now, okay, now you're hearing me. The microphone is on different settings now, so there's like reverb and shit. I don't know how well you can hear this, but if we look at, I guess you can't see my screen anymore. Hold on, can I just put this over? Main display. Excuse me. All right, we're adding display capture, gib, that guy. Yeah. Wait, no, that's the wrong fucking screen. Kill me. Other display. There we go. Okay, okay. Now we're on. I do think it's only VST2. But I haven't looked into it because Serum 2 effects isn't on here. So you're very quiet. I assume you know that maybe. Oh, that makes sense because the tabla is loud as shit. I'm speaking more directly into the microphone now. So I'm on tabla settings right now. I'm assuming when I'm on the normal settings, now I'm like normal volume because I'm compressed as shit. Okay, you lost me. No voice. No voice at all? Okay, hold the fuck up. What are you going out? Okay, it was just very low. Gotcha. Whoa. Oh, I killed everything. Okay. Now it's all gone. Why is that the case? What the fuck? Oh, there we go. We're back. We're back. It's business. Okay, it was just mad quiet. All right, I'm gonna have to fuck it. We're gonna do some testing right now. Here, I'm gonna set up the tabla. I'm gonna put the microphone in front of the tabla. I'm gonna play it, and then I'm gonna check on the stream and see how the volume is. Because the point is, I'm not compressing the ever living shit out of the tabla when the microphone when we're in tabla mode, because I don't want to ruin the sound, right? So like right now, my vocals are compressed to hell right now, so that you can hear me pretty clearly, even when I'm like pretty far away. So I don't know. We will see. So I just got to go over here. Gotta move the microphone. Oh, let's go turn that off. Oh, and that. Beautiful. Damn. Something like that. Let's see how that sounds. Okay, back to this thing. Let's see what we got. All right, decent. I can move the microphone a lot closer. This is how DMT sounds, this is true. And then what is my voice sound? I'm gonna set up. Yeah, okay, I can boost the volume on that, I think. I mean, it was kind of peaking. I don't know. I don't know. I think I just gotta move. I just gotta move the microphone a little bit closer, and then probably boost the volume a little bit. Fuck it. Go. Oh, I didn't realize I didn't take my fucking microphone with me. I'm so silly. You just can't see my face right now, but that's fine. I'm a lot quieter. I'm aware. Filters, upward compression. Fuck it. Fuck it. We're even louder now. Filters. The reason why it sounds like there's room in there is I literally have Valhalla Vintage Reverb on it at 6% dry wet. I'm literally just processing and mixing it. I don't have Bloom. I remember I did put Bloom on this at a point, but then it just adds a shit ton of latency and uses up CPU constantly, so it's not worth it. But this is my effects chain. We got distortion, a decent amount. Yeah, dry wet's all the way up. I guess I'm flanging it a little bit. Fuck if I know. I don't know. I did this ages ago. And then we're compressing and then bass boosting and whatnot. And then, oh yeah, we do have a limiter at the very end. So, yeah, that's good. Okay, yeah, let's go back. Let's go back to the thing, and then I boosted the volume. I'm gonna see how that sounds now. So we can this here. I'm gonna have the microphone be closer. Oh, and I don't actually need the fucking pop filter for the tabla. We're learning stuff, all right? Well, you can hear that. Let's see how the fuck this thing sounds. So there seems to be a little bit of drive on the tabla. I did put distortion on it, so maybe it's clipping now. Let's see. Let's go check this out. Transients are nice. Good. It might be laptop speakers because there's a shit ton of bass. It might be... Maybe there's too much sub? Or too much bass? I mean, it sounds good. I mean, I'm in headphones. And I think I can EQ boost the highs more too, honestly. I think I'm gonna turn down. All right. I'm gonna turn down the sub like a little bit. Oh, we got to go over here. Right. We're doing streamer man stuff. You can't see my face right now. And then the Tabla microphone. It's still called the SM57 for some reason. We open this guy. This is buggy. Let's boost that. The visual interface does not update until you close and open the thing, which is very annoying. It's €100 laptop, some people might argue it's not an ideal monitoring system. Yeah, I recall fucking a lot of the stuff I did at Dolby involved measuring and tuning and trying to get laptop speakers to sound good enough for Dolby Atmos, which was just like nutty. Not a good endeavor. And then let's turn this down a little bit. I can't see the visual, so yeah, that's probably good. Just so the thing can like breathe a little bit more. There's upward compression here. It's boosted a bunch. We're in 32-bit float, so it can't clip really. We have reverb. Should be good. Yeah. Okay, let's go back one more time. I want this to sound as good as possible. I mean, also just like how I position the microphone does matter a lot, and like I know I don't want it to be too close to the bass drum, so I want shit from the die-in, which is the, let's move this pop filter so that's not in the way, and this also needs to be directed a little bit better. Yeah. Says I'm clipping every once in a while. I guess that's the limiter just not working right, because there is a limiter, so we should be fine. enough. I need to move this setup. Oh no, I can't move that that camera. I'm forgetting my whole fucking shebang. This guy. No. Yes. Yes, this is what I want. Yeah, I need to move this a little closer because I can't make out the fucking text on the live stream chat. I guess I could just like put my phone. I could look at my phone. I could bring it back to the old streaming days and read chat off my phone. So, yeah, put the tabla in a song. Yeah, that's the plan. I used to do it a lot more often. Time to learn to scratch. Yeah. I mean, it just takes discipline. If I can learn to play tabla, I can learn to scratch. So, do people tune their instruments to tabla normally, or is it a tone? You tune the tabla. Yeah, no, it's tonal. Tuning is the whole thing. You need to beat it with a fucking hammer. I have a tuning hammer right here. The tabla has a bunch of. Oh, let me add. Hold on, I'm gonna add another camera to this source. God, video capture device. Yes. USB 2, deactivate, activate. Gib, show me. Show it to me. Please. Hello? It's broken. I want to be able to show the goddamn tabla when I'm in this view. Are you kidding me? Is it keyboard cam? No. Let me stealing this. Hold on. We're learning OBS, all right, folks? And then we can paste. Yes. We paste this here, and then we can adjust this now. Awesome. Okay, so. Basically, there's all these pegs here, right? Honestly, I should have just used the other fucking camera view. But these pegs can be lowered and raised to tune it, right? So the lower you bring it, the strap gets tightened, and then that ends up going higher or lower in pitch. And then there is a similar thing with the other drum, but these pegs are a lot harder to raise and lower, so you use a hammer to beat these in, and then you also will tune the rim of the drum by also smacking around the edges with the hammer to tighten the straps, essentially. And so you want it to be tuned such that, you know, it's in tune with the like tempura, the key of your song when you're like playing in a tabla solo or you're doing accompaniment or whatever, because Hindustani and Carnatic music and stuff, it's all in just intonation, right? It's like tuning matters a fuck ton. I'm pretty bad at it. I can't really like hear it or make it out. I mean, you can hear when it starts to get out of tune because like straps on one side will start to loosen relative to straps on the other, so the tone of the drum will be a few cents off on both sides, which creates like wobbling, and then the resonance decays a lot faster as a result. Whereas when it's perfectly tuned, then like the straps surrounding the entire perimeter of the drum is like tuned well, then you know, it resonates for a lot longer and sounds generally better. But yeah, the hammer, it looks violent. It's very small though. It's a small hammer, but you could kill someone with it if you tried really hard. Yeah, you could kill someone with it. Not the most effective way, but would work. It's like drums go with most other instruments. I think it just depends on taste. It's used to accompany and like keep rhythm and stuff in a lot of Hindustani and Carnatic stuff, but also now lately the culture has been the past 100 years it's started to become more of a solo instrument, and so the like vocabulary and the way that you play it has started to evolve, and people have gotten a lot more disciplined and been dedicating like their entire lives to basically like playing solo and whatnot and creating, you know, new like rhythmic structures, and they've really just like been getting super fucking nerdy about tabla. So FBI, hello? Are you Fed posting? Oh, and then earlier, Tilda said, have you ever had any issues with OBS just randomly resetting mic routing when you use a DAW or DaVinci? No. Wait, yeah, that's happened sometimes. Not DAW, but maybe DaVinci. I've definitely noticed sometimes just the mic is just not routed, and I'm like, I have no idea why. So maybe it's a result of me like editing videos or something. I do not know. I really don't. Okay. So that sounds... It sounds good, I think. So that is now a thing. I would say just like my biggest hurdles, I suppose, is I need drums to be closer to my screen. And also the setup and takedown is kind of a pain in the ass. Anyways, what do we got here? Yeah, everything looks like it's right. We move this up a fifth, which is cheating technically because we're in 20 notes per octave, and I just moved it up by a 12 veto fifth. Nah. And then maybe this guy. It's kind of cute sounding. This section sounds good. This isn't the section I need to worry about. The section I need to worry about is the section that sounds bad, which is this one. What if I... Hear me out. What if I put ring modulation before the transient smoother thing, where the transient smoother just basically applies like... It's like dispersion, or like you can think of it like it applies a convolution to a sine sweep that lasts 75 milliseconds. So it sweeps up, therefore the entire spectrum of the sound leans over 75 milliseconds in time, right? Right? So this is negative 75. This is positive 75. It's just like a convolution. Oh, interesting. Okay, if we apply ring mod afterwards, it makes the little sweepy motion go in both directions for both of the sidebands. Make this like a weird FM. So make this like, make this 7 and we'll make this like 16. And then we'll transpose it down 4. Right, so I transposed it down 4 octaves, but I raised the coarse pitch 16, so it's the same pitch as before. Yes, this is Ableton. Ableton Live, yep. Sounds like shit now. What did I change about you? Eh, it's a thing. It's nothing spectacular. It's Christmassy. I don't know. I was liking it a lot more when I last worked on it. Maybe I'm just not in the right mindset, in the right vibe. I am like low key food poisoned right now, so um, maybe that's affecting it. All right, take care, Jay. Thanks for hanging out and listening to the new microphone. Tabla. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, this song. I don't know. Let's switch to something else. Yeah. We have this other 20 Ito song. This one's kind of fun. I was kind of getting somewhere when I worked on this. And now, check this out. The song's changing over. I could go play tabla. Oh my god. Though again, it still takes like so much setup to do it that oh fuck me. It's knocking everything over. I actually got people in the Twitch chat. It's pretty seldom, but they appear every now and then. I don't know. It's like on a different algorithm. Sometimes there's like a whole squad of like trap producers will just show up and they want me to give feedback on their new trap beats. And then usually there's no one. But I need to if I get, what is it? I think 50 followers or oh Ableton crashed. If I get 50 followers or maybe 100, and then I need an average of 3 viewers. An average of 3, which is crazy because I have an average of like -1. Well, I was gonna say 0, but I don't know why I said -1. Where this guy? Then I can get a subscription button, and then people might give me money. Wow. Yeah, huge. Oh yeah, thank you, Jay. All right, let's while we pray that Ableton doesn't crash again, let's play tabla. Yeah. Oh, so cool. So I can show the tuning process actually. Wait, where's the hammer? We were just talking about this, and then that doesn't look great. This needs to be moved over. That can go like that. There we go. It looks a little bit better. Mildly. Oh, this sounds like a different person. Oh yeah, I'm bassier. I can lower that. I can just change the EQ. Microphone could probably be a little bit closer. Oh yeah, I was gonna show tuning. So we got this guy, right? And I'm striking. Oh, now the microphone's probably covering shit up. Oh my lord! Now you get a close up of everything bad. Oh, it's so janky. Full setup. I need like a actual fucking microphone stand. Okay, so the please fall over. I swear to fucking God, I'm gonna lose it. Move this guy right here. So I strike right on the edge of the drum. It's called the kinar. Doesn't matter what it's called, but you'll notice I strike on different parts. It's pitched a little bit differently. So this part here is a little bit lower, so I can hit this part with the hammer. And basically you just go around and just tune it like that. Right? And it sounds pretty much fine. That was mostly for demonstration. This guy, Please don't fall. Swear to God. Swear to God, I'll lose it. I will lose my shit. This drum here sounds like this. You'll notice when I hit here, it's much lower in pitch, so I can tighten it along this axis by lowering these pegs. Right? It's getting loud or higher in pitch. Right? Now it's like pretty high up there. I don't know how much higher we raise it, but and what's fun is this bit here does not need to be tuned because it's like you're just modulating the sub. It's more of like a percussive thing. So this drum here is the only thing that matters really for being tuned. Except I think, again, I need to move the microphone closer to the die-in because you're probably mostly only picking up sub now that I'm thinking about it. I can't actually fucking read the chat. Oh, reverb's crazy? Is it too much reverb, you think? Should I dial it back? It's at 6% right now. It's not too much, it sounds kind of epic. Okay, nice. It sounds nothing like what my room sounds like, yeah. Yeah, it's a little funny. I need to remember other compositions. I've just been trying to learn this fucking thing for the past like several months. Which is this in like slow motion. It's like it's already getting more out of tune. Right now, the resonance is a lot longer. And then there's like little strings poking out that I gotta like tuck away with my credit card. New here, just curious why you picked up the tabla, because it's sick as fuck. Really good. It makes it sound like room has no roof. If you want to record a tabla thing, use as a tempo to guide align electronic beats to. Oh. I mean, usually I just play this and then I quantize it in live because I'm terrible. Here, I'll be right back in 1 second, but I'll answer your question about the tabla. Okay. So, oh yeah, when you play tabla, you need to use baby powder essentially on your hands, or else you ruin the drum. Because like humidity fucks it up, and you don't want your hands to be sweaty. But tabla, I've always liked percussion, and I've always liked pitch bendy stuff. So like I got like really into like the oud drum. I have an oud drum. Where is it? It's in a different room. Whatever. So I don't know. Tabla is like the most powerful and like versatile like percussion instrument. I feel like it has like a really deep and crazy tradition behind it, and the pedagogy and how you learn it is kind of like a life-altering discipline in of itself that teaches you so much about the act of learning. And I love learning shit that is like endlessly deep, and it also sounds fucking amazing, and is really cool. Yeah, I don't know, but there's like a variety of inspirations, but Zakir Hussain basically got me into it. Tipper is my favorite electronic music artist. He plays tabla in my favorite album of all time. I really like listening to and understanding music from other cultures and what they do with rhythm in Hindustani classical music, and like tabla solos in particular are completely out of this world and unlike anything you like normally would ever hear in Western music. And what they do with rhythm is just fucking mind-boggling. It's really, really cool. And it's just really, I don't know, satisfying to just like learn to get better and better and better. Okay, I need to get closer to read the fucking chat again. Screenshot that credit card. Yeah, no, I made sure to use a different side of it. Use the chalk. Yeah, the pitch bendy thing. Well, I mean, there's an oud drum, like the oud drum, which is like a clay pot. Fuck it, I'm gonna go find it. But there's a bunch of different drums that have that pitch bendy thing. So there's the talking drum, which is I forget what country in Africa, but you like squeeze it with you like hold it in your armpit and you like squeeze your armpit shut to modulate the pitch, and then you hit it with a stick that is curved such that the stick basically the stick is hitting like is shaped like my finger here, right? And so it hits it down, and when you hit drums down like that, it ends up creating like a deeper, more sustained tone. And so that's why when you learn to play the tabla, you have to hit it with a cobra strike kind of way, where your fingers do this, which doesn't really carry over to any other type of drum. And then there's also udu. I'm gonna find my udu real quick. All right, we're bringing all the fucking drums out. Okay, so udu drum. It's a big old clay pot. Hold on, let me. Actually, I just had an idea of how I can read the. I do this. YouTube chat. I could just make the chat bigger. Fuck what you guys see. This is temporary, right? Temporary. So this is an udu drum. It is a big clay pot with a hole on it. Right? It sounds like that. And then if you hit the hole, I haven't played this in ages. And then depending on like where you hit the pot, near the hole or near the bottom, and then you can also, there's a top and you can hit the top, and you can hit the hole and the top. And then what's even cool, this isn't very typical for udu drums, but this one has a goat skin head, which I don't know, sounds kind of like a little bit like a darbuka, not really. Bongo, conga, I don't know. But what's really cool about this is if I let me just like position this so you can see it. I can, if I like position this right, it's resonating, right? And then if I cover the hole, I haven't played this in fucking ages, but also a very, very versatile drum. And then I got one other drum I want to show that I also have not played in ages and I'm terrible at, and is like probably just as difficult as the tabla. This is a tonback. So I kind of, yeah, my technique is terrible and I kind of forgot all of it. But you play this by snapping your fingers against the rim. And so there's this like long pattern sequence where you snap your pinky, your ring finger, and then you end up snapping your index finger with your middle finger against it. And then you do this on like both fingers, both hands. I'm so bad at it. That's gonna be my New Year's thing. I gotta play this again. I've neglected it like all year. Would covering one hole remove the even harmonics? I guess technically, but it's not like you can really hear more than one harmonic, probably. But like, right? You just mostly just hear like that fundamental. I mean, I don't know. But yeah, it's a water bubble effect. And then I've seen videos of people playing these where there's another chamber in it, and that chamber's filled with water, so you slosh it back and forth, and it goes, and it goes all fucking crazy, tippery, pitch bendy. So yeah, those are my good drums. I have many different random ass instruments, and a few other drums. Like I have a cajon. I don't know how to play it like well at all. And a few other things. Usually just like for Christmas, I'm like, give me a drum, and then I get a drum. But the tabla is the only one I like really actually like tried. missed a couple minutes. Okay, so Gary Dara something asked about tabla pedagogy. Pedagogy. I don't know how the fuck you're supposed to say it. So it's really cool in that there is no written notation, really at all. The way you teach it is all oral tradition, so it's all spoken. So every single way that every note in strike, this is a different word or syllable. So this is tete, this is t or ta, is that, or na. Like na is like really nasally sounding on the edge, and then more like hitting more in the center, it starts to get a little bit more resonant. That can be called like ta. And then if you hit it with an open sound, that's tune, right? And then tete, this, and then basically, so you have tete, ta, na, tune, na, tete, kete, ta, right? And then on the left hand, there's only two syllables. There's k or kut, which is open. So this would be titta, kitta, or titta, kitta, right? Or takita would be ta-ki-ta, right? Takita, 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 takita. Or titta, kitta, taka, right? And then the other syllable is gay, right? So you have right? So those are your syllables. Now, if you combine them together and you want to play both drums at the same time, you might want to hit na with more of your index finger, but don't bend it. Am I like bending it? Anyways, I've only had a handful of lessons, so I will say that like it's very likely that like my technique has gotten worse, or like drifted from like the intended what it's supposed to be, and I definitely should have more lessons and just like have my technique be corrected. So I wouldn't be surprised if I'm not playing stuff right. Yeah, only a handful, or nah. I took lessons for like a couple months, and then like once I felt like I had my hands properly set and couldn't, afford to keep taking lessons, I just started learning on my own. Anyways, so those are all the syllables, and then when you play them together, they are, the syllables change. So na plus gay becomes da, right? Tune plus gay becomes, or tin. Tune or tin, it becomes din. Right? So essentially every single syllable can encode language for how you play both drums at the same time. So dati daga dina gena, right? Da, ti, da, ge, din, na, ge, na, right? That's like one of the most like fundamental like phrases that you learn, and it involves like a complex coordination of both hands. So you have that going in one hand, and right? So they're both doing different stuff but interplaying. And then there's more, just what I find most fascinating really is how structurally it diverges. So it's like, okay, yeah, those are notes, that's fun, but Kera, I learned how to play it when I was very first starting out, and it was not good, and I haven't really tried to continue. But isn't that like no, not really. No, I'm fucking ruining it. But it's got kind of like a swingy kind of like lurch to it. Dati tintin na. So wait, oh I can hardly read. Da tita tin tin. I look closer. God damn it. Tita tin tin na kata. Then I will not be able to learn it in this session, but da ta ta tin tin na ka ta ta then. I've never played any composition that involves two tins or dins one after another. Da ta ta da ta ta tin tin na. Or is there no space? And I would have to know how you're supposed to play it, because while the language is like really elegant, there is a lot of variation when it comes to like different compositions. Like they'll say you're supposed to play na, but like they actually mean you have to use your ring finger in like a different way. And so there's like, you need added clarification with a lot of compositions. So I did play it right. Okay. Wait. I'm unsure about what to do. Do I do reverse tite basically? I don't know. I think I'm fucking something up there. Another thing I'm lacking is I don't know how to play any T-highs really. I can like kind of improvise loosely with like really short ones by being like, yeah, that sounds about right if I repeat this at this length and I can resolve it on a rhythm cycle. So I assume you also play tabla as well. I can't make out your name because I'm squinting real close. And I'm very far away. But I'm trying to think what other things am I learning? Oh, I've been learning stuff in what is it? Teesrajati? Yeah, Teesrajati, which is basically triplets, 3/4 or whatever, 6/8. And it's dati gena dati dagat dagena datata gena tenna gena dati gena dati gena dati gena dagena datata gena tenna kena. So that one's fun. Does this stuff fit into time signatures? Yeah, so yeah, Teesrajati and whatnot. I made my shot with a lot of percussion instruments. Nice, nice. What other percussion instruments you play? This is the only one I've actually seriously tried to learn. Actually like took some classes and like really sat down. Everything else is me just kind of fucking around. But yeah, there's crazy time signature stuff. So like, and I've talked about this a lot on stream, but there's like the concept of a T-high where you repeat a phrase 3 times and it resolves around on the rhythm cycle. And basically like that composition I just played is in Teesrajati, which means 3 beats per, or like 3 sub beats per beat, essentially. Djembe, okay, sick. Yeah, I cannot play djembe. I tried and could not produce a single sound, so I've yet to even figure out the technique, but djembe is sick. No, I'm thinking of conga. I don't think I played djembe either though. So if you're playing like something in Teesrajati, which is like 3 beats per cycle or whatever, and then you speed it up such that it's in 4 beats per cycle, the math works out such that if you play that composition 3 times, it will end up resolving on the downbeat of the 4-beat rhythm cycle. So like you can fit compositions that are meant for certain time signatures essentially. into compositions meant for other time signatures, and they'll create polymeter with them that you can calculate. And so once you know a couple compositions in a couple different time signatures, you can start creating crazy polymeters and shit. It gets nuts. I do okay, my bongos are old and decrepit and really sad because I brought them to like a fuck ton of music festivals, and they're covered in dirt and grime and who God knows what, and they're out of tune. But bongos were my first percussive thing that I got. Uh, so polymeter. Yeah. So, I mean, one thing I could do. I'm trying to remember. Is it da tita da tita gena da tita gena da tita kita da ti da gena daga dinna gena da tita kita da ti da gena daga dinna gena da tita kita da ti da gena daga dinna gena da tita kita da ti da gena daga dinna gena. Am I doing that right? Anyways, so. So that is that fits into 4/4, right? There's 16 beats. Na tita kita dati da gena daga dinna gena. Yes. So that fits into 4/4, 16 beats, right? And wait, da tita kita da gena da tita kita da fuck. Da tita kita da gena da gena. Anyways. Premise is you could play that in triplets and it'll create a polymeter. So if you speed that up, like if you're in a, you know what, fucking, I'll play a Lyra so we actually have a rhythm cycle to have reference to. I'm gonna butcher this probably. Let's play. Let me know if the sound is ass, if it's too loud or too quiet. So right, so that's me playing it in 4/4 at the right whatever, so 16 beats, right? And so I'm gonna play it a couple times and I'm gonna try to speed up to triplets. I'm probably gonna fuck it up, but. Yeah, no, that was awful. No, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm fumbling it, but I hope you see the vision. Yeah, it's fun. I mess with this stuff when writing D&B sometimes because it's a fun way to get 4/4 to sound more interesting. Yeah, polymeter good. Also, just like tabla has like all sorts of like micro rhythms and polymeter built into it. So like in Tipper's music, you often will hear just like it's just titakita taka, all right, which is it's basically just takita. Right? Takita, 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 takita. But if you want to play it in 4/4, right, it's 3 beats, right? So you would say it as titakita, right? Taka. So it's titakita taka, right? Which is just takita takita, really. And the focus is titakita is 4 beats, and so you keep playing takita, but you end up just emphasizing different things. So it's takita, 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 right? So I'm gonna try to emphasize. And so when you hear just this sound, like in 16th notes or in like 32nd notes, it sounds sick because it's creating a little micro polymeter, right? Because it's doing a takita, 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 but like in, you know, like a 4/4 subdivision thing. And then you could still play, I don't know how you'd call it, where you end up using all 3 fingers. So it's tita, kit, ta. Oh, it's just tita, kita, which is kind of a mouthful to say. But yeah, you learn a lot doing that, and that's influenced my own like composition process just when like writing MIDI drums or whatever. What album what am I referring to by Tipper? Broken Soul Jamboree. He's the greatest artist of all time. I'm saying it with my chest. He's very good. Electronic music. Just mind blowing sound design, and he innovated and kind of like birthed multiple subgenres of music and has changed electronic music scene forever. And he plays some tabla in it, and there's like tabla influences in the album, but it's like crazy electronic music. Broken Soul Jamboree, mandatory listening. It's homework. I just gave it to you. I feel like 3 against 4 is the logic behind almost every rhythm you hear in electronic music. I mean, I feel like in most electronic music they just stick in 4/4, but I kind of get what you mean. Um, in that like there'll be like micro, like almost a polymeter, but then they'll reset. Whereas like like the kick drum, bum 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 bum, or like boom 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 boom. No. Anyway, like the kick is like placed at the same length of time away from the next kick, but then it ends up cutting short at the end of the bar, and that like creates like kind of you know what I'm talking about. All right, I want to figure out this fucking this the polymeter thing that I'm talking about. So I'm gonna play data kita dati dagena daga denagena in 4/4, and then I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna slow down the tempo, and then I'm gonna play it in triplets, and it's gonna create a polymeter. So data the kita dati dagena daga denagena. That's gonna resolve every 4 beats basically. I'm gonna play a 16-beat cycle. It's gonna resolve every 4 beats, and then when I play in triplets, it's gonna actually resolve every 8 beats, I believe, if I'm thinking correctly. Yeah, it's the clave thing with the what's the fucking genre called? Bossa Nova, probably. The only thing I'm thinking of, probably. I'm fumbling it. Takata, takata. You see, you get the point. I got it a couple times, but it takes a lot of fucking practice. Guy on Twitch says, what's the polymeter thing? Basically, if you play something that takes 8, let's say you play a thing that takes 8 bars to resolve, right? So which is this. That thing, if you play that in triplets, dotted quarter notes basically, instead of taking 8 bars to resolve, it'll take 16 bars to resolve. So the 1.5 times will occur on the 8th bar. basically. Yeah, I'm also on Twitch under Paleac. It should be linked in the description of the YouTube video. Yeah, it's getting a little more out of tune. My ear is improving on hearing when it's getting out of tune, but I'm trying to think of what other compositions I'm trying to learn. Yeah, no, I mean that's about it. You love that it's even more of a palindrome than most palindromes. Yeah, that was kind of the intention. It's I mean, it's not really a word that exists. There's like a moon of Jupiter or Saturn or something that is called Paleac or Paliac or something, where it's two A's, Paaliaq. And I was like, that's kind of cool looking. What if I make it cooler and make it look cooler? In real life, I informally go by a name that is also not a word or name in any historical language, although it has personal significance. Oh man, I think I need glasses. Jesus Christ. I think yours is cool. So with the drums, the goal isn't only percussion, but melodic to some extent. Uh, you mentioned drifting over time. Go piss girl. Um, the goal really for my music, the drum is like really tangential to my actual like music artistic project. Um, my actual project is just like electronic music, glitch hop, crazy beats and stuff. I have ambitions of someday, 10 years from now, when I'm actually good enough to like perform. I would really like to perform tabla solos, but instead of using like a lira with like a sarangi or a harmonium or whatever, like a backing track, like the thing that I've been playing here, right? Right, that thing. But with my own synthesized sounds. So like creating like a synthesized soundscape or whatever, which like I could still do that. I could do that on the stream. I could just create a loop in the background and then loop that and then play tabla over that. But it would be very cool to like, I don't know, have multiple like projects or whatever, have multiple ways of performing, right? I could perform as like, I don't know, here's a DJ set, here's an up-tempo DJ set, here's like a down-tempo ambient thing, tabla solo, right? How cool would that be? Yeah. All right. I think that's enough. Yeah, that's enough. That's enough tabla for now. But oh, I'm fucking breaking everything, man. I hate it here. It's just all over. Just we'll go here. Da-da-da. Let me bring this over here. Nice. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, it seems like microphone is a success, I think. I'll have to listen back on the stream. Actually, I am a little curious. Let me go a little bit back on the stream. That is a lot of reverb. Oh, the noise gate, it's kind of weird. It sounds good. It sounds good. It sounds fine. Okay, cool. Cool. Tabla, success. Though I'm not a fan of, well, maybe that's just because I'm playing the layer off my phone, and the phone is just going to sound shitty. So that's just like inherently a part of it, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. How's that work? Started DIY refretting your guitar to 36 Ito and skip fretting the strings. So like each string is tuned, like the second string is 1/72nd of a step off from 32 Ito, something like that. Because I know it's the frets are going to be too small for actual 72 Ito. My understanding is like, all I know 31 is, no, Kite guitar is in like 41, isn't it? I think Kite has a 41 Ito guitar. I think that's like the upper limit of people who play like largish Itos on microtonal guitar and it sounds good. But I mean, I imagine with your thing, your approach, you can make it work, though. I don't know, you might need like more strings. I don't know. I mean, that sounds super cool though. I was just reading about 32 Ito actually. What was I just looking at? It's got, I think 32 Ito has like the most in tune 7/6 and 9/7, which would be the subminor, the septimal, subminor, and septimal supermajor intervals. So that can support, like, you know how scales, Pythagorean scales or whatever, you make them by stacking fifths. Well, you can stack thirds such that they add to a fifth, right? So you can stack a minor third and then a major third over and over again, which creates a fifth. So you're just cutting every single fifth into two intervals. But instead of a minor third and a major third, you can use a subminor third and a super major third. thus you can like target like a 7 limit, almost JI kind of sound. Because 36 Edo, I think has like the most accurate like septimal thirds in like the nearby region. Pretty good. It's less than 2 cents off. Oh, 22 actually is better at 9/7. And then what was the other one? No, I'm curious. I just want to make sure. 7/6. Okay, yeah, 7/6 is like ridiculously accurate. So the subminor third is obscenely accurate, and then the super major third is a little bit, just a wee bit out of tune. Very accurate. So 36 sounds like pretty promising for that. I was also curious and found out that 29 Edo 29 Edo is the most accurate for whatever you would call, is it with 11? No, 13 limit. 13 limit. So if we look at what's I think 13/10 is, it's like the infra minor. You could consider this like a extremely super, yeah, I don't know why it's called a semi-sixth, because if 2 of these add to a 6th, that's stupid. I don't know. Maybe it's intelligently named, but this is like a super fucking major third. And then if you multiply this by what, 15/13? Then wait, was this really it? I thought these were called infra minor. I swear I was just looking at this. Anyways, 29 Edo is super accurate for both of these. So you can construct a scale by stacking fifths that alternate 15/13 and 13/10, because you multiply those two numbers together, you get 3/2, right? Which, like, I don't know, it's kind of interesting. I think there's something there. Yeah, 13/10, ultra major third. Yeah, it should be. I swear I was just looking at this and I thought it said that. Is there an undecimal like third? What would that be? 11/8, that's no, 11/8 is a minor sixth. Got what? 22/16. Let's just start here. Brother. 22. How? Oh, they're both divisible by 2. Right, that's still 11/8. I'm silly. 22/15. Oh, kill me. I don't know anything, man. 22/19. Here we go. 22/19. That counts. This is a subminor. Some weird. Though it involves both 19 and 11, which is kind of odd. Fun fact, I made these tables. Look at me, contributing to the Zen Wiki. Though someone snuck in there and then made it so that they're all collapsed by default. And I'm tempted to edit it back and get into an editing war and make it so that they're all open by default. Because, like, I feel like the page is so small for all of these intervals that, like, why wouldn't you just want this to be open by default? Like, what do you really want to go to this page so that you can go down here? I feel like you always want them open, right? But I don't know. I don't want to step on toes. I'm new to editing. Yeah, 15/13 is like information, right? 13 such a metallic, waxy, also agonized sound, super emotional. Is 11/9. Oh, 9, I just missed it. Is the most obvious one, probably. Yeah, this is a neutral third. Okay, so that's cool. There's like 11 limit, subminor, and a neutral. I guess since it's neutral, yeah, there wouldn't be like a major and minor counterpart, I suppose, unless you use the other thing. Yeah, I think they're super useful too. Just got obsessive and got an obscene amount of carpal tunnel clicking through the entire gallery of just intervals and then adding these to all the pages that make any sense. If you have editing capabilities, if you ever run into a page that doesn't have this and you want to add it, you just have to paste this in here. You can even leave that bit out. You just like double bracket interval Ito approximation, and then it just appears on that page. Yeah. Which is cool. And then you can also use it if you want to go crazy with like weird ass numbers. So I was exploring phi recently, like acoustic phi, and so I figured out how to approximate, you know, like weird ass irrational numbers, and then you can look at everything that approximates it. Which is just, I don't know, it's fun. Phi has like very weird fractal-like properties. Oh hey, look at that, 36. Super accurate. The most, actually. It's literally, yeah, 36 and 72 are literally the most accurate approximations. So that's fucking cool. But yeah, I just started shoving these in just like every single weird number or constant that appears. I think is useful. 27 over 22, 11 nines, fifth complement, right. Wait, 27 over 22. That would just be a tiny bit sharper, right? Okay, so they're just both. That's fucking weird. I guess, okay, any Ito that is going to contain both of these and not temper whatever that comma is, the difference between them, would be obscenely big. So that just wouldn't make sense. Also, no one would probably hear that. Probably. How could I request edit access? I can't remember. There's a way. I think you just look around on the wiki and there's like a how to help, and then you have to like send a message and be like, I'm a musician, and then they'll give you access in 24 hours or something. Yeah, no, the reason why I'm most interested in 23 Ito, 23 has been tuning of the year this year. It is the best tuning. And it also is really accurate for approximating phi, which is pretty cool. Yeah, and I've been really obsessed recently with Sevish's work on acoustic phi. So I wrote this article here, which is like I'm restoring a bunch of shit that Sevish had written, and then just like diving a little bit for. Yeah, I gotta change that. I'm gonna go in and edit war. I'm gonna fix this. But the premise is that like by using the fifth the fifth root of phi as an interval, it's essentially when you take acoustic phi, right, which is the golden ratio, and then you logarithmically take the golden ratio of that interval, and then when you use that as a generator, you get MOS scales that are all Fibonacci numbers. And if you the combination tones that are generated from these intervals that are made out of a scale like that, all the combination tones are going to be other notes within that scale, right? Combination tones being like plus or minus like integer, whatever the frequencies are, basically. It's like it's kind of similar to like ring modulation combination tones, but it's like produced in your fucking brain. Now, whether or not you can actually physically hear the fact that the combination tones are like fractal-like, I don't know. But the premise is very cool. Cool, thanks. I could hear the difference when isolated easily, though hearing it cold without comparison would be a lot tougher. Yeah, maybe. Well, I know with just intonation, if you're getting like really accurate and in the right context, you can hear stuff. I don't have too much experience with that, but I remember watching Cam Taylor's video on 53 Ito. Cam Taylor 53. This, where are you? What? Come on. Why is that not like the #1 thing that pops up? It's like a recent video. Yeah. This thing, a meander around 53 equal on the Lumitone, blew my fucking mind. I've never understood like why anyone would care about commas actually when it comes to playing music until this video. And there's portions where he's like, oh, check this out. This is like he'll play some weird ass integer ratio. He's like, this is 22/17, and it sounds like that. And I could like hear like the way he walks you through all of it. I could hear that that's the 22nd and 17th harmonic of a harmonic series in this like virtual fundamental. And to be like, now I'm going to add this other note, and that other note changes the temperament or like your perceived understanding, and then that ratio ends up sounding like a different ratio. And I actually fucking heard it, and it blew my mind. Really, really cool. I really want a Lumitone. I'm very upset. You saw... Hold on. My oh god, I don't want to hear my voice. Please help me. Okay, I saw your video on microtonal music theory. I have to say thank you for making it. Well, thank you for thanking me. I knew it was what I discussed, but I put it into really useful terms, and it was helpful. Beyond that, great contribution to future microtonalists. Yeah, learning the basics was very, very frustrating to say the least for me and for my brain, and so I figured that's gonna help. That's gonna help some people out and not have to deal with some of the shit I had to deal with. I'm very slow to working on the next video, but it's just gonna be on MOS scales. It's gonna be stuff you know, I'm sure, but would be useful. Yeah, so that creates a synthetic harmonicity, sort of. The thing is that they're all with the combination tone thing, if that's what you were talking to about. They are in the frequency, they're not in the logarithmic domain. So they don't actually sound like they're harmonically related necessarily, but it creates like this cluster of like what sounds like frequency shifted notes that are like self-similar and fractal-like. You're training to sing in 72 Ito. Jesus Christ. That sounds very difficult. Yeah, I am curious, and I do want to try to start just intonation ear training, because I do hear, I'm starting to figure out how to hear prime 7 and like septimal ratios. I think I can make it out. Like it has a color to it. It has a certain color that kind of sticks out sometimes. And so now I'm really curious, because like all of my ear training has just been 12 Ito, like solfege kind of stuff. But I don't know. I'm curious about, yeah, JI ear training, which I imagine, you know, because we view everything basically as like tempered intervals, might be useful. Have I heard a really in tune 7/5 that then expands to a 17/12, then a 10/7? There's literally a chord progression in those combination tones. Oh, it expands to a 17/12. Like it's just like changing intervals, or they're playing together. But no, I have not. That sounds very interesting. Yeah, 7's super distinct. Yeah, I've yet to like really get like 11 I think is compelling, though I haven't explored it much at all. And 13 I'm also curious about. I feel like no one can hear 17 and up, right? Like not really. I know Zia's doing some interesting stuff with like primodal series segments where like, okay, yeah, you can justify using like the 43rd harmonic or something, where if you're creating like a harmonic series between the 43rd harmonic and the 86th harmonic or something, and then there's like interesting psychoacoustic properties that come from that. But I feel like I'm so curious if people can actually hear these higher primes at all, or if we're kind of limited. I don't know. I'm sure you could justify it in any context. I guess the biggest problem for me is when I compose, I'm doing everything in the piano roll. And so as like a vehicle for exploration, it's a lot weaker for figuring out just like what's going on harmonically, theory wise, etc. I just build scales. I just make scales and scribble in them, really. Yeah, so like if you have a drone as the bottom note, the top note changes to alter 7/5 to 17/12 to 10/7. Really? Okay. I thought combination tones were sometimes out. No, they are in tune. They are. Because I remember reading about like violinists and stuff playing them, and they like tend to be like a fourth or a fifth or whatever underneath what they're playing. I actually agree with you. 17 isn't normally heard, but I do think it has a distinct sound, but less so than lower primes like 7, 11, and 13. But we do hear 19. Wait, really? I thought 19... Oh, no, yeah, 19 is 400 cents, like, basically, exactly. Because I remember calculating... I tried to calculate... There's this 343 Ito contest nonsense that we're all doing. And I spent a good chunk of time... Basically, 343 Ito is, like, an exactly accurate 1 bajillion % accurate, stack of 17 Ito. It's like a JI subset of 17 Ito stacked on top of itself. Yeah, here we go. It's like it's basically exactly accurate. It sounds indistinguishable from JI. But I remember the 19th harmonic, if I remember correctly. Like everything sucks for it. Yeah, I tried finding MOS scale subsets that make any sort of sense. And every single MOS scale that you can get out of a giant subset of stacking 19/16 on itself over and over again just has a gigantic ratio because it's so close to just a very clean division of 4, right? It's very close to 4 Ito. So as a result of that, you get, yeah, look, 4 large, 93 small, and that small step is extremely small, right? Because it's essentially, that ends up making it such that each large step is basically that, and then the 93 small steps is the cent difference between this and the next time you want this interval to occur. So at least in that regard, if you wanted to create like a JI subset, it falls apart, which is really interesting. Makes me understand Ito math a lot more. Yeah, no, it's nuts. And then there was, I think, was there any other interesting stuff? I know 7 Ito is like really close. Yeah, 7 Ito is extremely close to 29/16. And so the most accurate version is a 1 large 6 small, but the ratio is, yeah, 25/24. So it's basically they take 7 Ito and then just adjusted it just so ever so slightly, and then you get a something that is basically exactly accurate. Oh, and the most interesting thing, 7 Ito is the most accurate Ito for 11/8 in like the first 1,000 Itos, right? Because like I crunched it hard. It's exactly spot on. So I don't know, that's fucking cool. I have to explore 37. I have not really explored it at all, just because like as a premise, I really like bad Itos or weird Itos, dual fifth stuff. Yeah, another thing actually I am working on right now. You may have seen this before. Here, I posted it in my Discord. This map, right? This map of all the Itos, basically, depending on how their fifth is approximated, right? So you have all the Blackwood shit here, 7 Ito over here, and you have like a spectrum in between here. I'm working on making a periodic table generator. So I wrote a script that basically generates this. So, you know, it plots stuff out. There's a couple bugs still, like there shouldn't be a line connecting this, but each of these lines like indicates every time you like add 7 or add 5 or whatever. And so you can like map out and see interesting stuff, right? You know, you can see, you could like shade in different regions, be like, this is the super Pythagorean region over here. You know, this is like the hard diatonics where they start to become like less usable or whatever. shit like that. And you would call this like Mavilla, and then this would just be like anti-diatonic and hard anti-diatonic and whatnot. And then what I'm more curious about is I'm curious about doing it for other intervals. So here's a, it isn't completely done yet, but because I want to create boundaries for different MOS scales. But so this is basically the periodic table of Ito's for a different interval for 6/5 and how everything approximates it, right? And so this is multiples of 4, right? So there's a giant stack of multiples of 4 over here. And then you can see how everything like converges every time you add 4 to a thing. It converges towards and approaches that interval. Just like, I don't know, it's interesting. Yeah, like you got like also just like how averaging works. 19 is right here, 15 is right here. If you average them together, you add 15 and 19, bam, 34 is right there in between. Shit like that, it's interesting. 72 Ito has a barely usable hard diatonic fifth at 716. Yeah, I bet it has like 5 or 6 different possible fifths. What's the Ito limit? I mean, I could set it to like 100. I mean, I could set it to whatever I want. I don't know how efficient the algorithm is, but I'm only really curious myself for lower Itos. If you're wondering like what is the Ito limit mathematically, it's infinite. There's as many Itos as there are numbers, but the question is, when does it become impractical, and when is the human brain not even able to psychoacoustically tell the difference, right? So if you subdivide your frequency spectrum into 10,000 notes per octave, the human brain isn't going to be able to tell the difference between that and free pitch with just like glissando, right? So also you can't really write in that. There's no instrument imaginable that can do that. So I would argue, I mean, it sounds like Genesis, microtonal, whatever. They're figuring out a way to create a guitar that can play 72 Ito, which I would say is not something I would do because I work everything in the box. So there's like limitations. You work in the box with MIDI, you're hit immediately with the limitation of you only have 128 MIDI notes, right? So if you have 50 notes per octave, you get like 1.5 octaves. You get 2 octaves maybe if you are like sticking with a very specific root. But you get very limited really quickly. So there's like limitations in terms of like MIDI and software. There's limitations depending on your instruments. I would say, personally, I'm not interested in any Itos above 53. I think 53 is like the best big Ito because it's basically it's like pretty much spot on just intonation for the 5 limit. So for primes numbers 2, 3, and 5. And it becomes too much of a headache the larger the Ito gets. So like you can consider like how do you judge how good an Ito is as like some complex equation of how different intervals are approximated for your use case or whatever. But one of the biggest variables is how small it is. The smaller the Ito, the better, because then it's more usable, right? So that's why like the most interesting stuff is you want to find like I want to find what's the smallest interval that approximates 6/5, 19. It's right there. It's spot on. Perfect. That's a small usable number. I'm not really curious about anything above here. Frankly, writing in anything above 30 notes on MIDI starts to get kind of challenging. I'm getting decent at it, but it's definitely challenging. And for a beginner, I would stick with like 22 or lower if you're just starting out. Though, shit gets easier as you go. And it also just like becomes like a headache to write in and work around in, because like when you get into larger Itos, you're playing in subsets. So I'm just going to play a scale, right? If I'm in 53 Ito, I'm just going to make a diatonic scale or whatever, or some just intonation scale basically, and then stick to only those notes. And I'm just going to fold everything down and just work only in that. And then when you do that, you're not really using the full thing to its full potential. If you want to like play chromatically, it's a fucking nightmare. There's 53 notes per octave. It's difficult. That is, again, for working in the box. If you have an instrument like a lumitone, then you can play it so much more intuitively. And so if you want inspiration, I was talking about this earlier, this video by Cam Taylor, a meander around 53 equal on the lumitone, it's mind-blowing. Really, really cool. You have to know a little bit about just intonation, just like number ratios, how they work, multiplying them together, stuff like that. Start figuring out how it works. Yes, 53 is fantastic. Would have done 53 or 53 Edo, skip fretting, but I need heat to remove the frets. I can't do that at college. Well, I remember reading that, what, Here Between the Lines, one of those people, they had a 53, they made a 53 Edo guitar and couldn't play it. The frets are too small. So they did 31 instead, which, like, the frets are still small, but it is learnable. Is my understanding. But I think for guitar, it's pretty limited, unless you're in, like, I don't know. You'd have to get creative there. And the problem is 53 Edo is a prime number. So I'm not really sure how you would go about doing the, like, skip fret thing that you're doing. Like 72, you could divide into two. So you could just, like, have two different strings of 36 Edo that are offset by 1/72nd, right? Maybe there's a way around it. I don't know. Where can I read about that? I want to hear what they have to say about it. I don't know. Zenpilled was talking about it. Zenpilled, this guy, he's streaming right now. You can hop in there and you can heckle him and ask him. But I remember him saying that anecdote I just gave you. Okay, I'm tired. I'm tired of yapping. I've been my throat hurt. But successful stream, I think. Tabla sounds good. That's cool. Learned some things I could probably switch about my setup. But yeah. Played Tabla for a while. Had like 10 people watch me play Tabla, and then yapped about microtonal theory until everyone left. As is tradition. I wouldn't have it any other way. Very cool. Patiently waiting for the Clocktown song release. Wait, which Clocktown song? Like, I mean, like, of me, like, playing something like it on the piano, because, like, I don't know how to play Clocktown, but I know how to play, like, half of the songs in Majora's Mask, if that's what you're referring to. Unless there's another song of mine you're referring to, and I'm not sure. Oh, Witness. Yeah, Witness. Why do you call it Clocktown? I mean, I think we were talking about it. We were probably talking about it when I was working on the song. But, where is it? If I stick to my loose plan I have in my brain, that one will come out, yeah, this guy. This one will come out, I don't know, next year, first or second month, probably. Well, I like that. I'll use the premise of clocks as inspiration for possibly changing its name. Though it's probably gonna have Witness. I think it's stuck, but maybe. Okay, I'm ending the stream. Thanks everyone for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed it, and hope you have a good Tuesday. Yeah. All right, take care, y'all, and I'll see ya.